We're back on the air. This is Radio Entrepreneurs, and we're always featuring the best, the most current stories of entrepreneurship. This is not an academic show. This is a show talking to entrepreneurs about what's going on today in today's world and the struggles of trying to build a business. And what better market to be doing that in than in Boston right now? My name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm host of Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm also CEO and chairman of Mage LLC, the management consulting firm. And our next guest, Javier Masis and his brother Serge Masis, right? Did I get it close enough? And Shuflix, right?
It's close. Shuflix.
Shuflix.
Yes.
I'm sorry. The one name I didn't check out. Shuflix. Well, tell me, what is Shuflix all about?
Well, it's a leisure activity roulette. That's the fancy way to put it, but it's a search engine for activities where people are looking for fun things to do. And that can range from going out to eat to going out to bowl to having a beer to amusement park, concerts, what have you. It's all pretty much anything that you could possibly regard as fun. And what we do is we aggregate data from a lot of sources: Eventbrite, Meetup, Foursquare, Yelp, Facebook, all these different places, put it all together and shuffle them for you. Therefore, Shuflix.
To my personal interests.
No, we don't personalize that way. We personalize different ways. Basically, the premise is you can, of all the activities out there, if we give you a small list, you'll likely like one of them. And if you don't, you shuffle again. It's like, you're bored, you don't have any idea what to do, you want variety. That's the best way of getting variety. You won't get variety by looking for what you intended to look for in the first place.
It's like throwing the dice. It sort of comes up different every time based upon my interest. Does it learn my interest and my patterns?
Yeah, it does by the things you remove. So a Dunkin' Donuts show up and you don't like Dunkin' Donuts.
No, I like their cold brew now.
But let's say hypothetically you didn't.
I know.
You could just swipe left on it and you wouldn't see it again. That sort of thing. And after a few swipes on Dunkin' Donuts, we realize you don't like the entire franchise. It's not your local branch. It's just the entire thing. So,
and does it go beyond restaurants? Does it go into activities like going to sports and things like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have very simple categories because this is all based on research. And my co-founder can tell you more about that research, him being into neuroscience himself. But basically, it's that less is more.
So the idea is basically around you right now, there's tons of stuff going on. But the problem is, how do you find it? How do you look for it? So think of it as a deck of cards, except all the cards are hidden all around the room. And the way it is now, you have to go to every single corner in the room and find which cards you're looking for. And that represents like, okay, I'm going to go to Google now and see which cards Google will show me. I'm going to go to Yelp. I'm going to go to Foursquare. And by the end, you might have looked at every single one of all 52 cards, but now you can't make a choice because you've seen all 52. What we do is we say, okay, that's really dumb. There's no reason for you to be spending and wasting your time looking at all these things. Let's have a computer, grab all 52 cards, and then we'll just shuffle them and show you 5 of them. And so when you only see 5, you're like, oh, okay, well, this looks pretty good. Think of it as like when you go to the supermarket and you have to choose a cereal. Or maybe your kids have to choose a cereal. When there are only 3 options, it's pretty easy to choose, and usually you're pretty happy with what you come out with.
One for 3.
But when there are 20 of them, suddenly it takes 10 minutes to make up your mind. And what were those 10 minutes for? You still have a box of cereal. Maybe you're even a little bit stressed out because you're late for something else. So that's basically the concept behind it from the consumer end. We're trying to simplify decision making based on how human beings actually make decisions. We're overwhelmed by options, and the internet makes it worse. And the companies that try to recommend stuff for us to do don't really take into account how we make decisions. If you go on Yelp, they'll show you 10 options, page after page after page, and you feel this obligation to go from one page to the next page to the next page because you're trying to make the most of your time. But in the end, you're just wasting it by trying to make the most of it.